So, ready to jump into this whole blogging thing, this guide, Mastering WordPress, your ultimate guide to blogging success. It's got some really great advice. Let's dive in and see what we can find.
Definitely. I think we can unearth some real gems in here.
Yeah. I know when I first started out, I was kind of lost. A resource like this would have been a lifesaver.
Totally. It's amazing how much easier things are with the right guidance. And that's what's great about this deep dive into WordPress. It's all about, well, unlocking that potential.
Right. You might think WordPress is just for blogs, but it's way more than that. This guide really opened my eyes to how people are using it to build entire businesses online.
Oh, absolutely. E-commerce stores, membership sites, you name it. The versatility is incredible. And this guide doesn't shy away from that.
Yeah, it shows you how to really leverage WordPress to achieve, your own specific goals.
Exactly. Whatever those goals may be.
Okay, so let's say you're just starting out. This guide walks you through everything from picking a domain name, which is like your blog's address on the internet.
Right. Like your online home.
Exactly. To finding the right hosting provider, which is like the land your blog house sits on, if you will.
That's a good analogy. And I think what's important here, what the guide emphasizes, is that solid foundation.
Yeah, for sure.
Choosing the right domain name and hosting, it can really impact your blog's success in the long run.
It's not just about getting started. It's about setting yourself up for success.
Exactly. It's about sustainable growth. And speaking of setting yourself up for success, the guy also gets into choosing a theme, which is how your blog actually looks.
Right, the design and all that.
Yes. And it stresses the importance of responsive themes. Those are the ones that adapt to any screen size.
Oh, so it looks good on your phone, your tablet, your computer.
Exactly. Because today, people are accessing content on so many different devices.
It's all about the user experience, right?
Absolutely. You want your blog to look amazing and be easy to navigate no matter what device someone is using.
Makes sense. And this guide, it really drives that point home. It even gives you tips on picking a theme that matches your brand.
Yeah, so your blog has that consistent professional look and feel. It's all tied together.
Okay, so we can't talk about WordPress without talking about plugins.
Plugins, right?
It's like this secret toolbox or something
Yeah.
that lets you add all these cool features to your blog.
It's true. And this guide does a really good job of giving you examples like specific things you can do.
Yeah, like what?
Well, say you want to add a contact form so people can, reach out to you easily.
Right.
There's a plugin for that.
Mhm.
Or maybe you want to make your posts super shareable on social media.
Right.
Plugin,
There's a plugin for that.
probably.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It even suggests specific ones like Yoast SEO. Have you heard of that one?
Yeah, Yoast SEO, that's the one that helps your blog rank higher in search results, right?
Exactly. So more people can actually find your blog.
Which is kind of important.
Yeah, I'd say it's crucial. Imagine, let's say you write this amazing post about, I don't know, sourdough bread baking.
Okay, sourdough bread, I'm with you.
Yoast can help make sure that when someone searches for, best sourdough recipe online, your blog actually shows up.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah.
And that's really just one example. There's so much you could do with SEO.
It's like a whole world.
It is. But this guide, it gives you a really good foundation for understanding how it all works.
Okay, that's good. Because I feel like a lot of people, myself included sometimes, we get a little intimidated by the technical stuff.
I get it. But it doesn't have to be overwhelming.
Yeah.
This guide breaks it down in a really accessible way.
Cool.
So you can start optimizing your content and attracting more readers.
Awesome. So we've talked about the technical stuff. We've talked about plugins. But now let's get to the heart of your blog, the actual content.
The words, the images, the whole shebang.
Exactly. You could have the most beautiful website in the world.
Right.
But without good content, it's just like an empty shell.
Right. It's true. Content is king or queen or, royalty.
Exactly. And that's where this guide, I think, really shines.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it really breaks down the process of creating content that people actually want to read.
Like what makes people click on your article and then actually stay on the page and read the whole thing.
Exactly. And it gets into some cool stuff like using the WordPress block editor.
Oh, the block editor is a game changer.
Right. Tell me more about that because I haven't really used it that much.
Okay, so basically it makes it so easy to add different types of content to your posts.
Right.
Images, videos, quotes, you name it.
So it's not just a wall of text.
Exactly. You can make it, visually appealing, more engaging for the reader.
Right, because who wants to stare at a wall of text all day?
No one.
Exactly. There's this thing in the guide, this whole content calendar idea.
Oh, yeah, I was just thinking about that.
At first, I was kind of like, calendar? Like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it sounds a little rigid, right?
Right. But then when I thought about it, it's like, it's not really about being rigid.
It's more like a roadmap.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
like having a plan.
So you're not just scrambling every week to figure out what you're going to write about,
Exactly. And it helps you stay consistent.
which is so important in the blogging world.
Totally. Because people are more likely to stick around if they know, like, when to expect new content from you.
It's about building that trust and that relationship with your audience.
Right. And this guide, it also made me realize that it's not just about like constantly churning out new stuff.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more.
It's also about making the most of what you already have.
Oh, I see what you mean, like repurposing content.
Well, even just like connecting the dots, like the guide talks about this thing called internal linking.
Oh, yeah, internal linking is huge.
So that's basically when you like link to other relevant posts within your own blog.
Exactly.
And it's good for SEO, right?
It's great for SEO. It helps search engines understand what your site is about, and it also keeps people on your site longer.
It's like you're creating this whole like web of knowledge.
Exactly. A little world of information.
I like that. And speaking of SEO, we talked about Yoast earlier, but this guide, it also gets into some other stuff like meta descriptions.
Meta descriptions, those are important.
They're those little snippets of text that show up under your blog post title in the search results.
Right, like a little preview.
Yeah, and I never really thought about them much, but they're actually super important.
They're like your elevator pitch to convince people to click on your link.
That's a great way to put it. Okay, so we've talked about creating content, optimizing it for SEO, but then there's this whole other side, right? Like once you have people visiting your blog,
Right. Then what?
then you got to figure out like who are these people? What are they interested in?
You've got to understand your audience.
Exactly. And this guide, it recommends using analytics tools for that, like Google Analytics.
Oh, yeah. Google Analytics is essential.
Have you used that before?
All the time.
All right.
It's like having X-ray vision into your website. You can see
Yeah.
where your traffic is coming from, what pages people are visiting, how long they're staying on your site.
It's like you can see what's working, what's not.
Exactly. And then you can use that information to make your blog even better.
It's like this whole data-driven approach to blogging, which I kind of love.
Me too. It takes the guesswork out of it.
So we've covered a lot of ground today, but I think the main takeaway is that this guide,
Which guide was that again?
Mastering WordPress, your ultimate guide to blogging success.
Right.
It really does give you everything you need to like get your blog off the ground and actually make it a success.
Totally. And I love that it emphasizes both the technical stuff and the creative side of blogging.
Because you need both, right?
Absolutely. You need a great website, but you also need great content. And you need to know how to get that content in front of the right people.
So true. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling super inspired right now.
Me too.
Ready to go out there and conquer the blogging world.
Let's do it.